This is our time.
This morning, the Great Escape, the first Australians rescued from the coronavirus outbreak in China, arrive on Christmas Island. Leadership battle, Barnaby Joyce eyes a return to the Nationals' top job, with a challenge expected later this morning. And show of support. A community rallies around a Sydney mother mourning her 3 children killed by an alleged drunk driver.
This is 7 News with Natalie Barr.
Good morning. The first Australians rescued from coronavirus ground zero in China have made it to Christmas Island. After a marathon journey, passengers will now spend 2 weeks in quarantine as the Australian government works out how to bring home those still trapped in Wuhan.
Touchdown 2 hours after leaving Learmonth. The Skytrader charter jet with a cargo unlike any it's carried before. As it prepared to park, the ground crew prepared to board. Dressed in protective clothing, head to toe, zero risk. There were 72 passengers on board, most families. The first emerged like all that followed, wearing face masks. They carried children and cabin bags, dodging light rain and jumping onto minibuses. Of the total 243 evacuees, 89 are under 16, and it seems most of them were placed on this first flight. They would all be exhausted, so would the adults. They've run the nightmare of Wuhan, the flight to Australia, turnaround at Exmouth, and this final leg, waving as their 7-vehicle convoy headed under escort toward the next phase, quarantine on the island's infamous detention centre. 2 taking the journey are Rob Kellett and Josh Nielsen, professional rollerbladers touring China.
Got our golden ticket back home, guys.
The aircraft, staffed with a volunteer cabin crew, came with a different kind of complimentary amenities kit.
It's been a long day, full of emotions.
At the airport, they suffered through excruciating delays. Rob, weary and torn. Thankful to be going, but worried for his girlfriend still trapped in China.
Who knows what the right choice was, but it's a safer one.
Now provisions are being made for those left in Wuhan. A deal with the Kiwis will see Australians given seats on the Air New Zealand rescue flight, likely to leave by week's end. On Christmas Island, Chris Reason, 7 News.
A major battle is brewing over the Nationals' leadership, with a spill expected to be triggered this morning. Political reporter Olivia Leeming is live in Canberra for us. Olivia, Barnaby Joyce will challenge.
Yeah, Nat, 2 years after he stepped down as Nationals leader over his affair, Barnaby Joyce will today attempt to return to the Deputy Prime Ministership. This has all been sparked by the resignation of Deputy Leader Bridget McKenzie over the sports rorts scandal, though it has paved the way for divisions over Michael McCormack's leadership to reach ahead as well. We understand a motion will be moved this morning by Queensland MP Lou O'Brien to spill both positions. Barnaby Joyce says under Michael McCormack, the Nationals have been losing ground to One Nation, the Shooters and Fishers Party, and failing to cut through in regional areas. And one of his senior colleagues overnight has revealed he will be backing him.
I've spoken to the Deputy Prime Minister Michael McCormack, and I've offered my resignation as Minister for Resources in Northern Australia. I've done so because pending a leadership ballot in the Nationals Party tomorrow, I will back Barnaby Joyce for leader. We need a bulldog, we need a fighter to fight back against those that want to take away people's coal jobs, they want to shut down cane farms, they want to stop even Indigenous Australians developing their own land.
Now, Michael McCormack is still adamant that he will survive today's coup, believing he still maintains the majority support of the party room, though it is one that is notoriously unpredictable. Nat?
OK, thanks, Olivia. To breaking news in Spain now. An Air Canada flight is being forced to make an emergency landing in Madrid. It sustained damage to its landing gear shortly after takeoff. The aircraft has been circling the airport to burn fuel and reduce weight. A military plane has been pictured flying beside the passenger jet, making sure all is OK. It is yet to land. A Sydney community has come together at an emotional vigil to honour 4 children killed in a horrific crash. Grieving families stood side by side with hundreds of locals, metres from where the children were hit by a car driven by a man charged with being drunk behind the wheel.
A grieving mother surrounded by an overwhelming show of support.
Leading us from death to life.
Hundreds of locals from the Oatlands community came together, united in mourning at the place where 4 innocent young lives were tragically cut short.
To lose a child is just heartbreaking. To lose 3 is just devastating. It's horrible. The presence tonight is just to stand in solidarity and peace and pray.
Anthony, Angelina, Sienna and their cousin Veronique were killed by an alleged drunk driver on Saturday night. Despite the unimaginable heartache, the 3 siblings' mother, Layla, showed remarkable compassion, forgiving the man allegedly responsible for her children's death.
I don't hate him. I think in my heart I forgive him, but I want the court to be fair, right? It's all about fairness.
29-year-old accused drunk driver Samuel Davidson is said to be extremely remorseful. The heartbroken families comforted not only by their faith, but the solidarity of their community. Georgia Holland, 7 News.
Fire has consumed a factory in Sydney's southwest, sending thick smoke billowing into the air. It took an hour for firefighters to bring the fierce blaze at Punch Bowl under control. No one was inside the building when the fire broke out. Police are now investigating the cause. An investigation is underway after scaffolding at a Melbourne worksite collapsed, injuring 5 construction workers. The men were working on a group of townhouses in Craigieburn when the structure suddenly gave way. The scaffolding fell with such force that part of the building's timber frame also came crashing down. Several of the tradies were trapped underneath that wreckage. All 5 men were taken to hospital. 2 are in a serious condition. A destructive storm has battered the New South Wales mid-north coast, tearing roofs off houses and bringing down trees and power lines. Witnesses say the supercell was like a mini tornado. It hit Port Macquarie the hardest, prompting hundreds of calls for help. The storm also saw 25 millimetres of rain drench the region in just 20 minutes. Crews are now working to repair the damage and restore power to homes. Shark nets and drum lines will be redeployed in Queensland waters less than 5 months after they were removed. A recent spate of attacks, including a deadly mauling in the Whitsundays, has prompted the move. News Corp reports drone surveillance and drum lines will be rolled out in the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park within 2 weeks. It's part of a $5 million agreement between the state and federal governments set to be unveiled today. Almost every capital city has recorded a rise in house prices in a promising start to 2020. Sydney is leading the way as the nationwide resurgence continues over the first month of the year.
Australia's property market is enjoying a roaring start to 2020. Prices in each capital city on the rise during January.
We have seen values rise pretty much everywhere around the country.
In the most recent quarter, Sydney, the strongest performer over 3 months to January, up 5.5%. Melbourne wasn't far behind. Hobart, the surprise packet, up 3.4%. Brisbane, Canberra and Adelaide posted modest gains. Perth had its first rolling quarterly increase since May 2018, but Darwin the only capital to post a drop.
We've seen new record highs being set in Brisbane, in Adelaide, Canberra and in Hobart.
Believed to be thanks to record low interest rates and improved borrowing capacity, and in some places demand exceeding supply.
The Brisbane property market is very healthy at the moment. I am experiencing multiple offers for almost every property we launch to the market.
I think we'll get back to, what Sydney peak price was, same with Melbourne.
While more price growth is expected, it won't be at such a rapid rate, with property listings likely to increase as sellers regain confidence and rising prices push many potential buyers out of the market.
Likely to dampen the growth rate will be worsening housing affordability, considering values are generally rising at a much faster pace than incomes.
Amber Laidler, 7 News.
Checking Tuesday's weather now. Showers in Brisbane today, cloudy in Sydney, a top of 24, sunny in Canberra, becoming sunny in Melbourne too, 21. Partly cloudy in Hobart today, sunny in Adelaide, 26 for you, very hot in Perth, 41 degrees, and a shower or 2 in Darwin. Coming up in 7 Early News, a check of finance, plus Boris Johnson's terror crackdown, the British PM's response to the latest London stabbing attack, and the backyard hidden treasure that sparked a 4-way legal battle. That's next.
think I've ever seen this before. We're looking for the best pet stylist in the whole country. Release the hounds! Groomers, you have 135 minutes to go. Wait, no, that's in doggies. You've got only 15 minutes. Beautiful bison. Lion. Music sensation, Sia. Ed Sheeran.
So cute.
This is the start of something big. Who's perfect?
Introducing the future of outdoor blinds. Smart Track by Australian Outdoor Living. Control using your phone or tablet even when you're not at home. Program your favourite settings and your blinds will automatically adjust based on the time of day. Integrate with a smart home assistant and operate using only your voice. Make the smart choice this summer with Smart Track blinds from Australian Outdoor Living.
Australian Outdoor Living.
It starts with that little... It's spaces designed to flow, carefully planned and built with all the finishing touches. Experience a Dale Alcock display home today because you know it has to feel right.
The Pope Auto Wind hose reel has an industry-leading rewind system, a stop-and-go action, a 180-degree swivel and a 10-year hose warranty. So no more messy backyards. Pope. Smoother, safer, better.
At Canon, we believe mealtimes bring families together. That inspired our range of fresh, delicious, healthy, quick and easy to prepare meal solutions. Find us in your local supermarket. Canon Foods, Canon can do.
Right now, Bridgestone Select's Monster Sale means huge savings on car and SUV tyres to suit every budget. For tyres and auto service you can count on, you're always in safe hands at your local Bridgestone Select.
Last year, 159 people died on WA roads. What would be a more acceptable number?
Acceptable? 70 maybe?
Actually, this is what 70 people looks like.
It's my family.
So now, what do you think would be a more acceptable number?
0. 0.
Authorised by the State Government, Perth.
Launch your fitness this summer with Orbit. Elevate your training with a free Summit spin bike worth $499 with selected treadmills, ellipticals, rowers and home gyms. Reach your peak with Orbit Fitness. Shop in store or online.
Our realistic range of artificial grass is made for tough Australian conditions, resistant to drought and UV damage, and expertly installed. Enjoy a perfect lawn with artificial grass from Australian Outdoor Living.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has announced a fresh terror crackdown in the wake of yesterday's knife attack in London. Europe Bureau Chief Hugh Whitfield joins me live now. What is the Prime Minister proposing?
On that, Boris Johnson and his government under huge pressure after the attack here and the parallels between it and what happened at London Bridge in November last year. Just a short time ago in Parliament, the Justice Secretary announced there'll be emergency legislation introduced to keep terrorists locked up for longer, for at least 2/3 of their sentence instead of the automatic 50% of their sentence that they are required to serve now before being automatically let out. Now, Boris Johnson was due to make a speech this morning basically setting up his Brexit program, day one of business for Brexit today. Instead, he was asked a lot of questions about what happened here in Streatham.
We do think it's time to take action to ensure that people, irrespective of the law that we're bringing in, people in the current stream do not qualify automatically for early release.
The terrorist here in Streatham was 20-year-old Sadesh Aman, a convicted terrorist. He was sentenced to 3 years in jail but served just 18 months of that sentence before being automatically released under the current laws here in the UK. He pled guilty to 13 terror offences, including possessing a bomb-making manual. His mother today describing him as a nice, polite boy who was apparently radicalised online. And of course, the big concern here is that there are hundreds and in some cases thousands of radicalised, many of them young men, who are either being tracked by intelligence forces here in the UK or are already behind bars. Nat.
Thanks, Hugh. In other news, the race to find out who will face President Trump in the fight for the White House is ramping up today. Democratic voters in Iowa will be the first to vote in the primary race to choose a candidate for November's general election. It's the first contest for Democrat contenders, an important chance to build in early momentum. Polling shows Senator Bernie Sanders in the lead, with former Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Elizabeth Warren very close behind. Kansas City Chiefs fans have spent the night celebrating their team's first Super Bowl win in 50 years. Die-hard supporters couldn't contain their excitement, dancing in the streets when the final whistle was blown. The Chiefs pulled off a stunning comeback to beat the San Francisco 49ers with just 7 minutes left on the clock. Fireworks lit up the night sky in Kansas City, with fans celebrating until the early hours. Checking finance now, the Dow Jones is climbing, the Nasdaq is as well. In London, the FT 100 surged, so too did Germany's DAX. Closer to home, Japan's Nikkei closed lower, Hong Kong's Hang Seng rose, while both the All Ords and the ASX 200 saw a major drop yesterday. Commodities, gold is trading at $1,580 an ounce. Oil is $51 a barrel. The Aussie dollar is buying close to 67 US cents, just under 73 Japanese yen and $1.03 New Zealand. 4 people are trying to claim almost $500,000 found buried in a Sydney backyard. A judge will now decide the fortune's fate next month, while the 2 men who found the hidden treasure on the vacant block say it should be finders keepers.
Subdivided, sold and now up for sale again. This Runaway Bay waterfront block is worth big bucks, but the fortunes of 50 Lay Drive run much deeper.
Bucket went into the ground and outrolled this package in a Tupperware container.
Inside, wads of old Australian notes, the total $388,000 worth of clean notes and around $100,000 in damaged notes.
The police stated that if the true owner couldn't be found, we've got a right to that money.
We had no idea if this was some sort of crime money, drug money, whatever.
Initial reports claiming bank robber, postcard bandit Brendan Abbott may have hidden the cash while on the run were false. So who really owns it? Possibly this man, Stephen Ma, a travelling Chinese chef who didn't trust banks. His brother, Peter Chan, owned the property from 1990 to 2007.
I know who owns the money. I told the court already. That money belongs to him.
Stephen died in 2015. His son is now staking a claim.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Mr Ma is now in a legal battle to keep the cash, along with its finders, Warren and Daniel, and the land's current owner. Even a homeless person tried to claim it. Next month, a judge will decide who is the rightful owner.
I'm in with a chance, might only be a small chance, but a chance.
Brian Seymour, 7 News.
Copenhagen's annual Light Festival has sparked into life with colourful displays brightening up the Danish city. The Tivoli Gardens Ice Skating Pavilion is lit up by 100,000 golden lights, transforming it into a winter wonderland. The event features more than 60 light displays across the city and is powered by sustainable energy. The festival, which runs throughout February, has been designed to bring some colour and warmth to Copenhagen during the dark winter. Next on 7 Early News today, the Sydney Big Bash teams have shut down rumours there'll be big-name cameos in the finals. And State of Origin star Josh Adokar reveals what his playing future holds.
I can't believe I'm telling you this. I wish it wasn't true. It is. It's huge. I can hear it.
Sounds like a jet engine.
Have you ever seen a fire like this?
Never. No man on earth could survive that.
The last words he said, I promise I'll be safe.
Those that work under me save the lives of many. I'm right. I'm a very proud captain.
I wanted to be able to do something.
Australia has seen a lot of bushfires. We have never seen anything like this.
Hellfire, the 7 News event. Tonight, 9 o'clock.
Summertime just got easier for Clean Heat customers. Search Clean Heat treats to help your summer flow.
This summer, Crown is the only destination where things are bigger, brighter and more fun. Enjoy mouth-watering meals under $20 for lunch and dinner every day. and free live music and entertainment every night. So whatever the occasion, come on in and live a little cooler at Crown.
Right now, Bridgestone Select's Monster Sale means huge savings on car and SUV tyres to suit every budget. For tyres and auto service you can count on, you're always in safe hands at your local Bridgestone Select.
Before my budget, life was a lot more stressful. We weren't really controlling our finances very well.
3 years on, and we haven't looked back. We've been able to go on holidays. Donna's bought a new car.
With the support of my budget, you're able to control your finances a lot better, and we're able to save at the same time.
Live your life free from money worries. Call My Budget today or visit mybudget.com.au.
So Tamika, how was the experience when you spoke to Kirsty at UE?
She took the time to listen to how I use my car.
How much did you save?
I saved $285.
$285?
For an insurer that listens, think UE. Call 13UE or go to UE.com.au.
This is life. Life in a day of cancer. There's Tom. He always forgets to put his hat on. Molly's helping Caitlin smile again. Bill's driving people places. Then there's the science people, the listeners, the community groups, and times to tell loved ones they're missed. And tomorrow, with your help, we all start again.
With WA Building Company, you get 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. That's a $30,000 Kickstarter towards your first home. With house and land packages from just $249 a week. WA Building Company, where magic happens.
To sport, and the Sydney Sixers and Sydney Thunder have shut down rumours that Mitchell Starc and Pat Cummins could make Big Bash finals cameos. The Thunder face the Melbourne Stars at the MCG on Thursday. The winner faces the Sixers in Saturday's grand final at the SCG. Cricket Australia says there are no plans to move the final and the Bushfire Bash charity game despite the forecast for heavy rain. Melbourne Storm winger Josh Adokar has been granted permission to cut his NRL contract short and return home to Sydney in 2021. The Fox was in the sights of West Tigers, who have welcomed Adam Dewey, who was forced out of South Sydney by Latrell Mitchell's arrival.
It did come to a shock to me a bit. I'm not going to lie, it was a tough period once Wayne did speak to me and whether clubs would be interested.
After 4 years, England have just dumped Wayne Bennett as coach, replaced by Sean Wayne for next year's home World Cup. To AFL now, and a major blow for Port Adelaide. Vice-captain Ollie Wines will miss the opening rounds of the season after undergoing shoulder surgery. Chasing a third AFL premiership, Geelong superstar Gary Ablett has revealed he plans to rest more and play less this season. Last year, the 35-year-old played 24 of 25 games, but this year he wants to preserve his body for the finals.
I always talk about peaking at the right time. I want to make sure, first of all, we win enough games to play finals footy, and if that is the case, then I'm feeling good, come finals time.
This will be the dual Brownlow medalist's 19th and final season. Come October, Ablett will be hosting fitness vacations on the Gold Coast. The Adelaide Crows AFLW Premiership defence begins this weekend, and they'll do so without co-captain Chelsea Randall. Randall tore her ACL during pre-season, and in her absence, the team will look to 22-year-old Sarah Allen to set the tone in defence.
Obviously, it's a big shoes to fill with Chelsea going out, and so in terms of my game, I'm going to have to take that next step and really work on my communication.
The Crows have just 24 fit players to pick from for their season opener against Brisbane on Saturday. Brisbane's Jesse Williams remains the only Australian to win a Super Bowl ring after Mitch Wishnowski's San Francisco 49ers came so agonisingly short. The punter from Perth had the honour of getting the NFL decider underway in Miami. His 49ers led the Kansas City Chiefs by 10 points in the final quarter before some Patrick Mahomes magic.
Launches down the middle, Hill, open, caught, the big play.
Kansas City ran out 31-20 winners. The Matildas say home ground advantage for their Olympic qualifiers will provide a vital boost in their bid to reach the Tokyo Games. The first phase of the qualifiers begins in Campbelltown on Friday night.
To be playing games that have such a significance on home soil is, probably going to be a bit of an advantage for us.
The Aussies' first game is against Chinese Taipei. Next on 7 Early News, a closer look at how the weather's shaping up in your part of the country.
Phoenix Holden in Wanneroo is having a massive sale on 2019 plated Colorado, Equinox, Arcadia and Trax. All vehicles come with Holden's 7-year free scheduled servicing. If my deal doesn't tempt you, nothing will.
Something is coming with the power to change your life. Get your tickets in Thursday's $60 million Powerball jackpot.
Find time to unwind as you roll along from one ocean to another on board the Indian Pacific. With 3 bonus nights in Perth, plus a tour of Rottnest Island. Find time at journeybeyondrail.com.au. Become part of a 50-year legacy.
Gloucester Park will come alive for the Chinese New Year Fireworks Night. Bring all the family for free kids' entertainment, authentic food stalls and amazing fireworks. The Chinese New Year Fireworks Night, Friday the 7th of February at Gloucester Park.
Our innovative building process delivers a finished home in under 12 weeks. With quality homes in premium locations, now's the time to call Urban Muse.
Advocate protects against more parasites than any other treatment. So your pet is free to dream. Advocate, so everyone can rest easy.
Dave was very clear how he wanted today to be, and here we are. It's exactly as planned, thanks to Marina Purslow Funerals.
Planning and prepaying your funeral with Marina Purslow helps your family to respect your wishes.
What makes telephone speech and hearing so special? It's been a lifesaver for families for over 50 years. How do I know? It changed my life and my family's too.
Connect, communicate, empower. Call us today.
Brucey, mate, you're looking good. What have you been up to?
Just been shaking it.
Shaking it?
Man shaking it. See? Man shake.
See, Merv, you can lose the beer gut without losing all the beers.
I'll drink to that.
It's time.
Maybe I'm getting old, I don't know.
Nick Nat's turning point.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Why we're about to see a whole new Natanui.
Only in 7 News.
Australia starts the day feeling good.
Baby, how you feeling?
The original Mona Lisa may not be for sale, but a modern copy of Da Vinci's masterpiece is about to go under the hammer. Rubik Mona Lisa by French street artist Invader is expected to sell for up to $166,000 at auction in Paris. The artwork is made from 330 Rubik's Cubes and is the first of a series of great paintings the artist has recreated using the iconic puzzle. He's even given his bold new art movement a name called Rubik Cubism. Taking a look at the weather right around the country, a trough should stall over Queensland and New South Wales, triggering showers and storms. A high will clear over southern New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania and South Australia with dry winds. A low in the north should intensify showers and storms in the top end, northern WA and Queensland. Easterly winds will draw heat across western WA. Looking at the capital, showers in Brisbane today, cloudy in Sydney, 24 for you, sunny in Canberra, becoming sunny in Melbourne, 21, partly cloudy in Hobart, sunny in Adelaide today, 26 degrees, very hot in Perth. Look at that, 41 for you, and a shower or two in Darwin today. That is 7's early news for this Tuesday, the 4th of February. I'm Natalie Barr. Now it's time for Sunrise with Koshi and Sam.
Breaking news, the Great Escape touchdown on Christmas Island. Australians evacuated from coronavirus ground zero, now in quarantine.
It's been a long day, full of emotions. Who knows what the right choice was, but it's a safer one.
Hundreds of passengers on an emergency Qantas flight out of China. No chances taken. Strict disease controls all round. Now, the long wait ahead to rule out the deadly virus. This morning, the man directing the medical team on the ground is live.
Developing now, ready to rejoice. The Nationals in chaos. A senior minister quits in a shock move to back Barnaby as leader. A showdown looming that could reinstate him as Deputy PM. He's live.
A mother in mourning.
I don't hate him. I think in my heart I forgive him.
The mum of 3 children killed by a man charged with drink driving speaks out. Her family's unimaginable grief and compassion in the face of tragedy.
New details, house price surge. The big winners as values go up across the country. What the market move means for where you live.
Plus, superstar Margot Robbie, her new movie and her message home.
I can't text, I can't email, I just have to do it via TV interviews.
Cherry on top.
Yeah, thank you, Sunrise.
She's sitting down with Sunrise.
And it's getting hot in here. J-Lo and Shakira shake up the Super Bowl. Phew, a show-stopping halftime performance. It's Tuesday, the 4th of February, 2020.
Across Australia, this is Sunrise with Koshi and Sam.
Good morning, welcome to Sunrise. Thanks for watching. Also coming up, after school shock, the staggering cost of kids' activities. We're going to tell you, just because you don't know already how expensive these children of yours are, how to keep them entertained for less. It's a Sunrise special report.
And Sam Mack is on the road to recovery, visiting bushfire zones this morning. He's at Lakes Entrance in Victoria. We'll check in with him shortly.
But first to the breaking new developments in the coronavirus crisis. The first Australians evacuated from the Chinese epicentre of the outbreak have made it to Christmas Island overnight. Passengers, including